Arsenal started like a house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any luck, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, and good evening, and we are back for another episode of the Late Night Leeds. Like the cup says, keep coming back. You know where your bread's buttered. The self-proclaimed hardest working man in the YouTube game. Please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments, and then, of course, hit that notification bell 3 times today. 3 times. This is the 3rd time. I'm live today. Tomorrow we've got the press conference, and then we'll have another evening show. Doesn't stop, man, does it? It does not stop. Hugh Hefner in the house. Sometimes, mate, when it's just before bed, I've just been watching Man United versus Chelsea, and then I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna do a nice little cup of tea and come and do the stream in my dressing gown. Sometimes I do it. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's a nice robe. I've also got it in grey. Looking like a bald Scarface. It's time to cook. It's time to do something, isn't it? Do you know what it is, man? Bro, Joe, you got one shirt. What do you this I know, right? I thought that as well earlier. Do you know what it is? I've got washing. Oh God. Up to the eyeballs in it, man. I've just been, you know what it's like. Sometimes you don't want to face stuff, right? This is the real reality sometimes, you know. Sometimes you don't want to face anything. Your dishes, your washing, all this sort of stuff. And it wasn't until I got my hair cut today and went for a sunbed that I realized, I was like, do you know what? You've been in one of your lulls again. Sometimes you don't realize until you come out the other side of it. Do you know what I mean? So I've just been like, yeah, I've been all over. But it is what it is, man. We move, isn't it? We move. We can speak about these things. Please do smash a like on the video. Glad we got that Sam built today. They're always happy to help. I haven't built that sandpit. Who's this? I haven't built the sandpit. It still needs doing, so I'm going to do it tomorrow, actually. So, yeah, I don't know what you're on about. Yeah, people were actually saying haircut. This is smooth now. Smooth. Beard trimmed. You know what I mean? It's how we move. Sunbed, yes. It is gainer. It's gainer. It is comfy. I can't lie to you. Listen, we've got loads to get into tonight. There's been a lot of twists and turns, hasn't there, with regards to this ownership. I wish I knew myself. I still can't make the head and the tail of it. What's happening? Yeah. What's happening is the 49ers taking us over. Is Radrizzani keeping us, but also getting investment from the QSI, the folks from Qatar who own PSG. I just don't know anymore. I don't know what's going on. So I was hoping some of you could give me some clarity. But we're going to go through it. We're also going to be having a little quick chat about my man Mo Ibrahim's little interview that he did with Victor. Unnecessarily getting a lot of hate because it was not as long as people would have liked. Like, chill. It is what it is. Yeah, Amy, Joe, you said your mate was coming around today to help you the sandpit. Now it's tomorrow. Yeah, right. No, I'm serious. Now it is tomorrow. They couldn't come round today, Amy. I'm telling you. I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. Yeah, so I can show you the wood bits if you like. Like, I wish I could build it myself because my son this morning woke up and he was wanting, like, come on, Daddy, build it. I have to explain to him that his nana was coming and going to school and that. You know what I mean? So yeah. But he can't wait to see it as well. So it is what it is. It was hyped up and it was only like 2 questions, says Reese. No, he just said, I've got an interview, man. Leave off my man on Mo Ibrahim, man. He's good. Plus, he gives me little snippets now and again. So come on now. You got to be there for more. All right. I'll also have you know that I actually asked him a question that I asked him to ask, and he said no comment on, which was around about why didn't he back Bielsa and chose to back Marsh, and he said no comment. Pussycleat. Pussyclad. No worries, Dave in Calderdale. I used to live in Calderdale, Halifax. Yeah, man, big pimping. It is what it is. We move. Right, okay. Let's go through some of the news. Before we do though, right? Let's talk about this. Yeah, Darko JB has scored on international duty, and what a goal it was as well. Lining up alongside the kid Alex Scott at Bristol City, not looking out of sorts. And the more you think about it, the more you might see him, you know, being that number 8 in our midfield next season in the Championship. Alex Scott's ripping it up for Bristol City. I'm expecting Darko JB to do the same. D. Taylor says JB got some goal tonight. He is one I am looking forward to see more of in the Championship. Same with Mateo Joseph. I want to see more of him as well. But Darko JB scored a nice little goal tonight. It was a really, really good goal. So yeah, I said this as well, right? Imagine having them both, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think if anything, Alex Scott might make the move to the Premier League. We'll have to wait and see. Here's just some of Darko JB's stats. Actually, while we're on the subject, big up Chris at LUFC Data. Just said Darko JB v Uruguay under 20s, 90 minutes played, 79% pass accuracy, 60 touches, 30 out of 38 successful passes, 6 duels won, 2 successful take-ons, 2 tackles won, 2 interceptions, 2 times foul, 1 shot on target, 1 block shot, 1 clearance, 1 foul, 1 goal. And that was his first England under-20s goal as well. And it was a sublime effort. I wish I could share it with you, but I can't because it'll get taken down. But it is on Twitter, and it has been retweeted by myself. So if you want to go have a look at that, you can do. But it is a really, really nice goal. So big up to Darko JB and a lot of the youth coming through at at Ellen Road, because we do have some players coming through. That is for sure. Right, let's have a little quick chat about my man Mo Ibrahim's chat with Victor Orta. It was short. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say that I myself thought it'd have been longer, but it wasn't, and that's totally fine. But these were the questions that were put to him. He was asked about his bond with a football club. So we'll start with that first of all. So just give us one moment. So this was the first question that was put to him by Mo. So basically, firstly, when asked about his bond with the club and how he feels now that he is no longer connected to Leeds, Victor says, "It's sad. I've been very upset with the sacking, but I understand Andrea's decision, and we came to an agreement to end our relationship at Leeds." Basically, right, the way I see it, Victor Orta was the fall guy. Like, they were all in bed together. Do you know what I mean? They're all as culpable as one another. Had we have not put in that vote of confidence that was done by the supporters advisory board, had they not, they'd have kept him. But Radrizzani had to make a fall guy. That's what I believe anyway. And he was, they're all together, man. Him, Angus, Mooney, a lot of them, get them all gone, man. Goodbye. Good night, Vienna and all that. But it is what it is. Right, let's get back to the rest of the article. So fans believe that the club had made multiple decisions that have resulted to them being in the position they are currently in. Orta speaks about his recruitment and states, "I will admit, although I've made a few mistakes with the recruitment, I believe I've had more positive signings than bad ones." Okay. Do you agree with that? I mean, he has had some good ones. Let's not, be all revisionist on this. Rafinha was exceptional and is exceptional. Willie Nonto looks like a great buy, although they sort of got him this season by accident, but he still searched him out. It was still his talent ID. Rate Tyler Adams, but I think Tyler Adams, it was an easy one, really, when you consider the links to Red Bull and Jesse, etc. Yeah, this is good shout, Liam. A few mistakes. Yeah, exactly, D. You are right. Maybe I give him too much credit, but I do think, Melier, etc. Were good. But yeah, probably more bad signings, especially when you consider his first season. His first season. And choice of managers, yeah, bloody hell. Bielsa aside, they were all bad. They've all been bad. Literally all of them. Big up Michelle Lee. I hope you're having a nice time over in the States there. Is Vancouver or is that Canada? I'm not sure, actually. Maybe Vancouver's in Canada. I don't actually know. Geography is not my strong point. Hey, see, this is what I'm talking about. Fluffy blanket, cup of tea, and toffee popcorn for late night Leeds with the goat. Who needs Netflix? Exactly. Cancel your subscription. They're not even letting you do password sharing anymore anyway, so it is what it is. Yeah, it was Canada. Big up there. See, geography is not my strong point. Right, let's get stuck back into this. There's the guy, man. There's the man. So apparently there were suggestions that Victor considered leaving before me. And he addressed this by saying, it had always been in my head this season. Sack the board chants weren't fair on Andrea and Angus. As I said, as I should be mostly to blame for the decisions. So leaving was a real possibility just before January. Well, he should have gone before then, shouldn't he? He should have gone before, yeah. Listen, if he genuinely is being sincere here in saying that they weren't fair on Andrea and Angus, then why stoke the fire by going, sack of the board, huh? Why do that? Why not do an interview and say, look, it's my fault. You should be labelling in sack order, not sack of the board, and then stoke the fire by coming back from 3-0 down against Bournemouth to go, sack of the board, 16 years, no Premier League without me before the final game last season. Doesn't help himself. The guy's a clown. This is the really frustrating thing. I think Graham Smith jumped on this as well. Saying no shit Sherlock kind of vibe. But if you look here, talking about Jesse Marsh, Victor speaking about if he regrets backing Jesse Marsh for as long as he did, he said, I don't regret backing him. But if we were to change managers, I felt it had to be done during the World Cup break. So why wasn't it done? But that also leaves it open-ended for me. Did he want to sack Jesse, or did they decide to keep Jesse? I'm confused by that statement, because what we're led to believe is that Victor was the one that said, I will leave unless you don't stick with him kind of vibe. You know what I mean? But yeah, it seems strange. Because he says, I don't regret backing him, but if we were to change managers, I felt it had to be done during the World Cup break. Well, so why didn't you do that? Unless after that point it had gone past the World Cup break and they went, well, there's no point sacking someone now. But I think we could all agree it should have been done at that point anyway. And maybe we won't be in this situation now. But we'll have to wait and see. Look, Victor is massively culpable, as is Radrizzani, Angus, the lot of them. For us. I mean, look, I'm already resigned to the fact that we're going down, me personally. So the fact that we're now an EFL club, it's just got a different feel about it. It's got a different feel to previous relegations. I genuinely feel there's the realistic possibility that Leeds United bounce back as champions. I do. I think with the right ownership, the right appointments, the right players in, we've got some great young players, as well as being able to maybe keep a few of our star turns. I think we'll be all right in the championship. I do. But you know me, I'm always trying to be positive, I guess. But yeah, that was Mo Ibrahim's quick article there on Victor Orta. Big up to Mo for that. Right, let's try and look. Those that I get this as well. Those that don't see it, I understand it. But when you actually compare our team and our squad and what it could look like to what has just won the league and what came second in Sheffield United, Sheffield United's squad's hardly any different, bar James McAtee, and our squad's better than theirs. with Bantha, Dale and Cooper in it. Trust me. Trust me. We'll be all right. I think anyway. But yeah, again, I have to say that you know, I am pretty positive. Let's be honest. I'm aware of that. So I am aware of that. But we move. Right, let's talk about this then. So we've got the 49ers articles. What does it actually all mean? Okay. Well, we'll start first of all with actually, there's a lot in that. That's the Italian article that's been translated into English. That might be a bit difficult to decipher. So let's go with this one. So this is the Sport Witness article, which is basically just ripping off that that Italian publication anyway. But let's see what they say, and we can have a chat about it and try pick the bones out ourselves, because I'm unsure. I'm not sitting here to have any sort of knowledge on this. I genuinely don't know what is happening. Right, Tom Johnson. See, this could be a thing. This is why this is sort of like an open forum this evening for us to have a chat about it. Tom says, do you think this QSI rumor is a smokescreen by Rads to put pressure on the 49ers? Could be that, couldn't it? It genuinely could be that. We never bounce back straight away. Jamie, that was then. This is now. Come on, we can do it. Right, let's have a look at this article. So it appears, because we'll go through the article and then we'll chat about it as we go through. So it appears that everyone linked to Leeds United's Andrea Radrizzani is chipping in to try and save Sampdoria from going under, right? So not only is it QSI that have joined to help out, they're also saying that the 49ers are willing to help out as well, which I'm really, really confused about, okay? So basically, they've got a lengthy article on the situation, which is the article I was going to go through, but it's really difficult. But they explain that Andrea Radrizzani's ASA Ventures, we know about the ASA Academy that was once out in Qatar, Matteo Manfredi's Gestio Capital, are supported by the Qataris and are now in the crucial hours and feverish meetings to sort out a deal for Sampdoria. Okay, it does say that QSI are expected to enter as a minority shareholder alongside the Leeds United owner and Manfredi, but that's not it. Okay, and then it goes on to say, as there could be more, because the San Francisco 49ers could also join the fray. I don't like this at all. You know, I've seen tweets likening it to the Pozzo family and the Watford Udinese kind of shtick. I don't want to be about that life. This is Leeds United. I genuinely don't want to be one of a conglomerate of football clubs, because it's just not for me. You need to have sole focus on Leeds United for me, okay? It's really strange that the 49ers would be willing to, if indeed this is true, to also help Radrizzani with some more money for helping take control of Sampdoria along with QSI. Like, the reason, I think part of the reason we're in this shit show now as a football club is because too many cooks spoil the broth. And I feel that that's adding more cooks into the kitchen by saying, you know, let's have QSI, let's have 49ers and Andrea. It just seems a little bit mad to me. Like, people are saying, it's not good news. Circus. Someone said, this sounds messy. Exactly. It's hard enough trying to decipher what it all fucking means. Do you know what I mean? That's why, for me, I can't wait till the season's done, to be honest. I genuinely can't wait till the season's done, so we can get some clarity as to what's going on, you know? So I'll go back to the article. So it said the NFL side, through 49ers Enterprises, hold 49% of Leeds United moment in time. I think it's 44, whom Radrizzani is trying to sell his shares. If that goes through, and the 49ers also joining the Sampdoria deal, then the two clubs could enter into a sort of sporting and strategic financial partnership that could benefit both going forward. I don't see the benefits in this. all you have to do is look at the way Udinese and Watford are and the Pozzos. Maybe I just don't like it at all. We're Leeds United, for God's sake. We're no one's second or third club. That's the way I see it. So this is just talking about the finances. I think what's helped him get it over the line, initially it was going to be financed by the banks, but now QSI have jumped on board. That's going to reassure the creditors, because Sampdoria owe like loads of wages to players and loans, etc. And Radrizzani is willing to get rid of them straight away. Let's have a look. Everyone is apparently currently at work to get a deal done, and despite some competition, it said the Leeds owner swept the table, as he will pay the guaranteed bank debts in full and will offer creditors compensation between 50 and 60% of the amount owed. And that is seen as an unbeatable proposal. So it looks like that one's going to go through, but I'm not sure. Like, apparently he's paying around 20 million for it in 2 or 3 installments. But yeah, it's all a little bit mad. The hopeful deadline of tomorrow is due to a meeting set to take place tomorrow at 3 p.m. local time. Sorry, you can't see that, can you? So there's a meeting at 3 p.m. local time. I'm assuming that's in Italy. And hopefully we might hear some more on the back of that after this meeting. But yeah, it's just so confusing right now. And a lot of it might be tosh. A lot of it might be BS. Do you know what I mean? A lot of it might mean nothing, because it could all be untrue. But I'll try to have a look at the 49ers article. Sorry, not the 49ers article, the actual article in Italian. This is quite a long piece, you see. So let me see. So it says here, the QSI, just one moment. Let me just share this. Let me just add that there. Right, okay. So the news was launched by L'Equipe and found immediate confirmation that QSI will enter as a minority shareholder in the new corporate structure of Sampdoria, governed by the duo Radrizzani and Manfredi. So does that mean Manfredi would also be involved with Leeds United? I don't like the look of it, okay? There is more. It said, accredited rumours from Milan whisper that the company could soon be joined by the San Francisco 49ers, the North American NFL football franchise, which since 2008 has held 49% of the capital of Leeds. The Italian businessman is negotiating to sell his stake in the English club to his American shareholders for a variable sum. That depends on which league we're in, of course. Sampdoria will enter into sort of sporting and strategic financial partnership with Leeds United, a bit like it already happens in other realities. For example, Udinese and Watford of the Pozzo family. I don't want that, though. Like, I'm hoping this is just tosh. I'm genuinely hoping this is just tosh. We're a Sampdoria feeder club. I know, like, the mad thing is, at least they're also in Serie B. So that who's the jewel in the crown, if you like? We know that QSI have wanted to. This is my worry, is right. Radrizzani has always wanted to own stakes in football clubs. This is what he said, right? He wants to own. QSI are the same. They own Braga. I'm not sure which others they own, but they clearly, and them two are very tight, right? Radrizzani and Nasser Al-Khalifi are very tight. You know, they were at the World Cup together in Qatar. That's where Simon Jordan met him and said he was a bit of a fool. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like this though. Yeah, that's a good point, Amy. Didn't the current contract say it would be void if Rads and the yeah, exactly. I just don't know. I just don't know anymore. We need clarity, don't we? And you know, like sometimes you can see articles and you can say, all right, okay, this is BS, but it seems to have a little bit of validity to it, just because like the Yorkshire Evening Post have also sort of like regurgitated the same information. If it was just Codswallop, they wouldn't do that. So something's happening. Right, okay, so they own Santos in Brazil as well. There you go. So, yeah, I don't... Sorry, I didn't mean to put that up, but you bang on, Sam. You bang on. I just don't know. There's another article here. I wonder if it's just the same stuff regurgitated. Let's have a look. I'll just have a quick scan over. Both clubs are keen to get a takeover. This is just, yeah, see, this is the thing. This is the same, man. It's all a little bit worrying. Like, so it says, could Sampdoria and Leeds join forces? It makes it sound attractive, doesn't it? But it's not. It's bloody not. Let's have a look. Because if he's got to pay all these finances as well, takes away from Leeds United. Yeah, I hate this. Sampdoria will enter into a sort of sporting and strategic financial partnership. What do you mean? What's a financial partnership? Are we going to use some of our bloody player sales to sort out his shit going on in Sampdoria? The strategic and sporting financial partnership. We're a football club. Do you see what I'm saying? This is what's... I don't know. I feel like I can't be too scathing because I don't know what it all means. This is what I mean. I wish I could tell you, right, okay, this means this and this means this, but I don't think anybody knows. I don't think anybody knows. Juan says, only I know the true story where they had a woman's underwear. Mate, do you know what? I seen something hilarious though earlier. That's just very, bro. That's just very. But did you see... Did you see Thogdad had tweeted out to say Leeds' new look kit looks very nice, not realising that them adverts that were being shown were ones because of him. It was like a new look advert. He was obviously then getting called all names under the sun, and I'm like, well, he could have been looking for underwear for his missus. He could have been shopping for it. You just don't know. But yeah, it was just funny, man. He was like, "Oh, Leeds' new look kit." That's it. It is what it is. But yeah, if the Watford experiment, if you like, if the Watford, I don't know where the word experiment, if that is anything to go by, then, you know, the shit's going to hit the fan, in my opinion. The shit's going to hit the fan. Here's what it is. Toby says both of them are annoying. Do you know what I'm going to say? Do you know, people get success, people want to drag them down. They're just doing them. If you don't like it, don't watch them. It's as simple as that. It's just what happens when you become successful, and that's what the kid has done. Him and his dad, they're successful. They get flying all over the world, and people don't like that. And people get annoyed by that fact. So then use any which way to try and drag them down. Lead them be. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. Jamie, have you watched the video? Did he really steal them off the kid? We don't know what happened off air. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm not here to defend Fogden and Fogdad. It is what it is. But if they are or not, that's fine. Like, just don't watch them. I've actually met him in person, both him and his dad, at the Football Content Awards, and they're actually sound. Joe, on his thoughts on Meslier being sold, I expect it. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Toby. I do. But like all this stuff, right? That you know, would you ask yourself this? Ask yourself this question: if someone came up to you and said, "I'm going to pay for you to go out to Qatar and go to every single World Cup match," would you say no? Nah. You'd be out there in a flash. No matter what names you were getting called. You think he cares? Do you think he cares? Not at all. Not one iota. He gets flown all over Europe to go to games, meets professional footballers. Is what it is. We'd all like to be doing it. We'd all like to be doing it. I'll be there in a heartbeat. It is what it is. Right, let's move on from that mad story that is Andrea Radrizzani, QSI, and the 49ers. Do you know what I mean? Like, all in bed together. Cam Bansell says, who is this jabroni?
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
I wish I could do the people's eyebrow. I can't, unfortunately. Right, we'll do it again.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
The Rock says, yeah. So I don't know what's going on with regards to the. Can you do the people's elbow? You can do the people's elbow. It's easy, but people's eyebrow. Sam says I'd take KSI at that point. Yeah, man, probably. I'd like that. Do you know what? Prime's actually quite nice. Certain flavors is what it is. David said I love WWE since the 80s. Same here. And guess what? It is Night of Champions on Saturday, midday as well. Don't forget, because it's over in Saudi Arabia. This is true as well, Mr. Dodo. This is very, very true. Unfortunately, I don't. Hell no.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready?
A little bit. This is my favorite right now, though, Cam. My father said. Oh, I'm stone cold, yeah? There, we move. What this one? This is Cody Rhodes, bro. This is Cody Rhodes. It's a banger. The American Nightmare, yeah? It's a banger, trust me. It is very, very good. Acknowledge me. We like this as well. This is a banger.
Burn it down!
Or this one. This is elite, let's be honest.
I have voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
There you go. Anyway, we move. Anthony says, what is this? You don't know what it is, man. Genuinely brutalized by Brock. Broke his arm, didn't he? Oh, don't forget about that. Shinsuke. There we go. We move. Gavin Jones, great comment. What's Gavin said? Has he said something funny? Would love. Yeah, I would as well. Out of nowhere, mate. Out of nowhere. I would love to do that. Oh, you're getting on board now.
Your time is up, my time is now.
You can't see me. My time is now. Anyway, we move. Oh, was it? Yes, man. Nice. Anyway, that's them all now. There's a few more, but we move. We have to, yeah?
Don't go anywhere. I'm not. Don't go anywhere.
Just your wrestling show. It needs to happen. Oh, no, better Jay knows. He knows, man. He knows, right? What about this one? This is, I got a lot of questions about when we dropped down to the championship, would I still do this? And this was my response.
You know what? I'm not leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Anyway, we move. None of them actually get taken down. I played. I did play the Queen. What you call it? What was it now? The show must go on, and that did get pulled because I'm not allowed, so I had to mute it. But this one's so funny, man.
Don't go anywhere. I'm not. Don't go anywhere.
Why are you so coming faster? Am I bleeding? Anyway, we move. Right, let's get stuck into some articles. We've had some fun now. I blame Cam for leading me down the WWE path. Let's get back into some. Listen, I feel like we're going to be talking about this guy every single day. But look, Mark Rocker exit talks underway with first high-profile Leeds United exit muted. This was in the Daily Express. Listen, I think a lot of us will just accept it. It's not worked. It's not worked out for him. Some say he's really great. Others say he's really naff. It is what it is. There's no in the middle when it comes to Mark Rocker. Whether it's due to the system or stylistically, it's not worked out for him. I think we can all agree, regardless of if we just come away from it and we can debate about him being a good player or not, but we can all agree it's not worked out for him at Leeds United. So I don't think any of us are that asked if indeed he does move. Does anyone remember what we paid for Mark Rocker? Off the top of my head, I can't remember. So I'm just going to have a quick flash over to transfer marks, unless someone can put it in the comments before I do. I'm just going over now, see if anyone can beat me to it. Mark Rocker, you're not going to beat me, folks. Oh, hang on, I pressed an advert by accident. Conflict of Nations, World War III. I'm not playing that game, thank you very much. Either the chat stopped or you're just not chatting anymore. Is this video still on? Because my chat stopped working. My chat stopped working on StreamYard because you're all chatting on YouTube. For some reason, I can't see you on StreamYard. My apologies, folks. Yes. Okay, so people are saying 10 million. Yous all beat me. Anyway, I don't know why. But my chat on StreamYard stopped working. So if you see me looking over here, it's so I can see the chat coming in, folks. So just be aware. Right, so let me have a look. I thought you'd have all gone then. And I was just like dancing to WWE tunes on my own. If we have a look, it was actually 12 million euros. 12 million euros, which probably equates to around about 10 million, right? So around about 10 million. Do we expect... I can see the chat from Twitch, Russ. Yes, for whatever reason, I can't see it on. I can't see it in front of me. Anyway, yeah. So listen, if we can recoup anywhere close to the 10, do you reckon we can? Do you reckon we can get 10 million for Mark Rocker? I mean, his market value, according to Transfermarkt, is 15 million euros. So do you reckon we could get close to... I'm going to have to move the YouTube comments over here because it's doing me head in because it feels like I'm talking to myself. Ranjit says yes. Bumek Start says he reckons we can get 20 million. Yeah, I think we get about 8. Listen, if he's worth... Look, Transfermarkt's got him as 15 million. We paid around about 10 million in English pounds. If we can recuperate somewhere close to what we paid for him, I'm happy with that, right? I am really, really happy with that. So, yeah, it's really confusing me now that I can't see the comments. Do you know what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to drop out and come back in and see if it fixes for me, all right? So give me 2 minutes, yeah? Ah, right. I can see the comments. I can see the comments now. We're sorted. You can get a lucky bag and 2 gobstoppers. Thank you very much. There you go. Get a sell-on clause. Get what we can. I'm not sure he will have a sell-on clause, in all honesty. But yeah, Mark Rocker, listen, if we can recoup what we paid for him after a season in the Premier League, it's a positive. I reckon we probably could. And the reason I say that is because we bought him off Bayern, having not played any football, really. He barely played. He's then come to Leeds United and played quite a lot of games. Played the majority of them. He was a mainstay under Jesse, for example. So for me, for that, the fact he's come to the Premier League and he's actually played, I reckon we can recoup what we paid for Mark Rocker. So that's a positive. Listen, I was contacted today actually by a Crystal Palace fan that apparently Patrick Vieira has been contacted by 3 Premier League clubs, and it's been reported in the L'Equipe that we actually approached him about taking over Leeds United when we sacked Javi. I know there was a lot of news before that apparently he wanted to make the move to Leeds when he was at Crystal Palace because they weren't backing him and he's seen what was happening at Leeds United. I don't know. Yeah, it seems a bit mad, but I'm not a big fan of Patrick Vieira's, to be honest, but it does say here, if as expected, Leeds are relegated from the Premier League this season, Vieira would represent a good option to try and get the club straight back up, similar to that of Vincent Kompany of Burnley. Listen, I definitely wouldn't want him in the Prem. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want him in the Prem. I think he's still unproven at that level. He hasn't shown us enough. But as a Leeds United fan, would you be happy with Vieira if indeed he was brought in to try and get us back up? I'm still not feeling that, you know. Apparently he turned us down according to L'Equipe, but I'm not too sure. To be fair to D from Back of the Nest, he did say to me earlier on, and I was like, nah, not a chance. But L'Equipe reporting that Leeds were one of them. He's had 3 Premier League offers, Leeds United being one, and he turned us down at the time. But apparently we're still keen on him. So if we did drop down, would you be happy with him as an appointment? I've put a poll out. I want you to let me know in the poll. I definitely wouldn't want him in the Prem. I'll say that now. But if they did go down that route, yeah, I'd probably be disappointed. I can't lie to you. But I just want to gauge what you folks are saying in the chat. So the poll is there. Vote in the poll. Big 85% early doors saying no. Daniel Bryan settings. No. I keep getting asked about this player every day, actually, and then this article came out. So let's have a chat about this one as well. It is Daniel James of Welsh fame. So it says, if reports are true, 52k a week flyer would be like a new signing for Leeds in the Championship. This is an opinion piece, okay? I don't know who they've actually spoken to. Let's have a look. Oh, Baron Cross. And Baron Cross says that if we are relegated, James is likely to stay at Ellen Road this summer. I'm not sure I agree with that. I'm not sure I agree with Baron on that. I don't think he stays at Leeds United. I think Leeds United will look to move him on. They will take a hit on the transfer that we paid for him. He's on a big wage as well. Let's not forget, he's on about 50 grand a week. I mean, the fact that this is the one sticking point with regards to Bielsa's tenure for me, because I jumped on that Dan James bandwagon like you would not believe, because my man Bielsa. But when you actually deep it and look at it, it was such a bad signing. He's such a bad footballer. He is such a bad footballer. Really surprised at Philip Anderson in the chat saying Vieira over Potter and Rodgers. That's insane, bro. I genuinely dispute your ball knowledge at this point. I just thought you disliked Potter and Rodgers. But the fact that you think Vieira is better than them, I seriously question you now at this point. I'm sorry, mate. It is what it is. Football's like opinions. We can't all agree, can we? Right. Just cleaning that. So, yeah, Dan James. Let's talk about Dan James, see what it says. So, Baron Cross believes he'd be like a new signing. He's on the books of Leeds till 2026. We replaced him with Nonto. I still think maybe we should have kept him around the place now. You know what I mean? If only Victor Orta wasn't like convinced about having such a small squad. Do you remember when we were told that was all on Bielsa and that's it? It's all on Bielsa and that was it. Well, that just turns out to be BS now, doesn't it? But had we have kept Click, had we have kept Llorente, had we have kept James, we'd have had options for someone like a Big Sam to use. Do you know what I mean? Because the squad's not big enough. The squad's not big enough. And when you take out one of the best tacticians, one best coaches we've ever had at the football club, then it all falls in on itself. And players and managers that aren't as good at the job need extra players to be able to deal with injuries and stuff. You know what I mean? So we've left ourselves light. We are our own worst enemies. Victor Orta's rubbish at his job is what it is. But yeah, back to the article. Look, he's been in and out of the side whilst at Fulham. Just 22 times he's played, scoring 3 goals. And Fulham are unlikely to spend the cash necessary to sign him. This is the thing for me. Until you actually get Dan James, you're excited by Dan James. Leicester City were looking at Dan James at one point before we snapped him up. Man United wanted him. Fulham have now had him. And what happens is he starts games, and then slowly but surely his game time drops because you start to realise, actually, this guy's not that good at football. He just can run fast. It's Usain Bolt with ball control. I still believe this now. And people say, yeah, but he did well in the Championship with Swansea, etc., when he sort of burst on the scene for the Swans. But I'd like us to move on from Dan James, personally, because I just don't think his end product's there. And for me personally, I don't think you can train it. That might be wrong. That probably is wrong, but because look at, say, Ronaldo, his wasn't God-given, was it? It was over time, but he's a phenom. You know what I mean? It's not Dan James. I just look at players like Keir Adama Traore. If they ain't got it at this point, are they ever going to get it? Yeah, I'm not sure. So let's just have a look at his time in the Championship. I think this is fair, a comparison. He had one season in the Championship. He played 39 games for Swansea. He had a hand in 16 goals in 39 games, scoring 6 himself, and laid on 10 assists. Okay, he was playing in a Swansea team that had Ollie McBurney at the time as well. That's what secured him his move to Old Trafford. Obviously, Leeds tried to get him in the January as well. So yeah, actually, numbers-wise, that's not too bad, is it? I'm just not sure Dan James will drop to the Championship. I'm not sure Leeds United will want. I think they'll want some money back on him, etc. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. 75% of you though have said no to Patrick Vieira in the EFL. I'm going to ask you another question now and say, Dan James in the EFL. Let me know on that one while we move on to the next story. How much do we get for Dan James? Asked D. Sorry, I can't flash your comments up. StreamYard's on a mad one. I'm just looking at the YouTube comments. How much do we get for Dan James? 20 million? 20 million, something along those lines, I think. Or am I massively over-egging the potential? I'm not sure. And actually, it turns out that is the last Leeds United story that we've got tonight. Let me just have a little refresh of that. Yeah, I'll just check my Twitter. Let's just double check that. See if we've missed anything out. I don't think we have, apart from the apart from the fact that Frank Lampard won 10% of his games, having managed 10, so he won 1 game. Funny as. Wolves, Ruben Neves and João Martino are almost guaranteed to leave, and there's also talks of offers for Max Kilman. Lopetegu's not going to start the season at Wolves, I'm convinced. I think he's going to walk. So tonight we've covered Victor Orta's small little interview with my man Mo Ibrahim. We've spoken about Darko JB. There's one thing I wanted to flash up before you go anywhere, actually, folks. Someone tagged me in this earlier. Tottenham apparently have turned their eyes onto Ange Postecoglou now that Arne Slot's turned them down. Rodgers was linked, but we'll wait and see. Right, okay, just bear with us one sec because I just want to share something with you. This was put together by the Second Tier Pod, okay? You need to get to know about Second Tier because we're going to be in it next season, all right? But it's a podcast, a weekly podcast, preview, review podcast that looks at that looks at the Championship, and then there's also the 92. No, what's it called? I forgot. Oh God, not the top 20. Sorry, not the top 20, which is another great podcast alongside YouTubers Benjamin Bloom, of course. But this is 3 agents. Okay, the best 3 agents. The best 3 agents across the leagues. Let's just have a look. 71% of people believe that Dan James would be a success for Leeds United in the Championship. There you go. I've been outvoted. So these are the 3 agent goalkeepers that are available. Joe Lumley, Chris Maxwell, Luke Daniels, Michael McGovern and Thomas Vaklik. There is a host of defenders. Ryan Manning is one Leeds United have been linked to. Who can remember Sam Byram? Sam Byram, of course. Daniel Ayala, who I'm not sure, was he at Blackburn most recently, but I know he was at Middlesbrough, used to be anyway. You've got Phil Jagielka, Liam Mott, Aidan Flint, who's at Sheff Wednesday, of course. Kyle Norton, who used to be in the Premier League with Swansea. Sorry, you got George Friend, who was previously at Middlesbrough as well. But Ryan Manning seems to be the key name on that list, and one Leeds United have actually been linked to. Chris Maxwell still plays. Jagielka still plays. Sam Byram was ace. He was, mate, when he first came through. This Jamie, where's that, bro? If you can send it me, that'd be great. Right, let's have a look at the next one then. So you've got the midfielders. So Jake Livermore, Nick Powell, Sam Clucas, Bradley Dack. Bradley Dack a couple of seasons ago, but not now for me. Tom Rocket, Scott Arfield, Luke Amos, Jordan Graham, Kevin Stewart, Liam Bridcut. Who can remember Liam Bridcut as well? And Rolando Aarons. Liam Bridcut was our captain for a period of time under Gary Monk. Do you remember those days, folks? So there you go. No doubt Leeds would want Sam Byram for sentimental value, yeah. Well, I don't think they would. They didn't want Charlie, did they? Charlie Taylor, but yeah. And up front, you've got these. Look, you've got Alfredo Morales, you've got myself, Timu Pukki. Maybe Timu could be an option for us, folks. It might work. It would look like me leading the line. There he is, old Timu. Your boy Timu Pukki Wayman. So yeah. Let's get Timu Pukki in. Lucas Zhao, Ryan Kent, of course, we've been linked to on a number of occasions. Troy Deeney, I've always enjoyed. Really like Troy Deeney. But yeah, no, he's about 40, isn't he? Shane Long, Gary Medine, Mason Bennett, Keshi Anderson, and Tyler Smith. Any names on there stand out to you, folks? Let's have a look at some of the chat. Ben Brereton Diaz has actually gone over to Valencia, I think. Valencia. Jesus, Bridcut, my PTSD kicking in. I know, long time ago now that. Bit depressing, that list. It makes you see your age as well, doesn't it? It actually makes you think of your age. And NJ1, yes, I would rather have Dan James than any of them, for sure. Kent, not bad if it's with that fee. Yeah, Villarreal is where Ben Brereton Diaz has gone. No, Ryan Manning, and of course I would take Ryan Kent if it meant we didn't have to pay for him, for sure. Morales, yeah. Have you seen the state of him now? Have you seen the state of Morales now? He's about 40 clem overweight. It's not looking good for him at all. Right. Well, I think that's tonight covered, folks. Let me just double check before we do leave you this evening. Thanks as well for joining me on the late Leeds United show. Late Leeds with Just Joe, your boy. Make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and get your comments in. We've nearly done an hour. I'm gonna head off now and watch the Big Six on YouTube whilst having a cup of tea, and then I'm gonna sleep. And then I'll be back live with you tomorrow, okay? Because the press conference for Leeds United's final... Oh, we've had a super chat. Sean Healy says Morales would be class. Mate, he's massively overweight now. There was a picture of him. You should see him doing the rounds. Let me see if I could find it for you before we... one sec. My stream, yeah. Right, yeah. There we go. Let me just show you the picture of Morales. Sorry, I nearly missed your super chat, bro, because we don't stream yards out at the minute. That's Morales there, look. No, thank you. We've already got Weston McKennie. I don't fancy Morales. So, yeah, that was Joe. I can't believe I'm seeing people say we should sign Morales. Clearly haven't watched him. He's massively out of shape. I mean, you've just to look at that. I reckon I'm in better shape than Morales. Clearly not as good a footballer as him, but I think I'm in better shape than Morales. So, yeah, Toby Morales, yeah. Listen, smash a like on the video, folks. Subscribe to the channel. Get your comments. Lewis O'Brien, I would like. What a shout that is, D. Lewis O'Brien, what a shout that is. I hadn't really thought of that. Yeah. Anyway, listen, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit the notification bell. I'll be back tomorrow, okay? I'll be back tomorrow probably about two-ish. Because Big Sam will be doing his last Premier League press conference as Leeds United manager. No, Lewis O'Brien isn't playing in MLS for a reason, Bobby. Lewis O'Brien is playing in the MLS because he was unable to transfer in England because he had already missed the cutoff for player registration. So that isn't why Lewis O'Brien is playing in MLS. Lewis O'Brien is playing there because they had him in their final man squad and then they had to cut him from it. He was then going to go to Blackburn, and unfortunately, the regulation said to him, no, you shall not be allowed to do this. There are rules for a reason. So then he went on loan to the MLS. Lewis O'Brien would be a great acquisition for Leeds United, you know. Anyway, let's leave it there. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and I will see you all tomorrow, you lovely people. And we shall leave it there. But I'm going to leave you with a tune before we do, all right? It's going to have to be my favourite. I'm sorry, we'll go a bit retro.
Time to play the game.